I want to take the issues here in sort of three buckets, right? Because there are the compensation issues around residuals and around basic pay rates. Then there's the question of working conditions. And then there's the entire AI components. Let's start first with compensation, because I think a lot of people imagine that just everyone in Hollywood is like Scrooge McDuck, just, doing the backstroke in a pool of gold coins. In reality, a lot of members of SAG-AFTRA don't even clear enough annually to qualify for health insurance under the union's provisions. So what is the reality of residuals and of basic pay rates?
Sure. I mean, the reality, of course, is that most actors aren't that. I mean, we obviously have members who do very well, who are very successful, but the vast majority of our members are fighting to make a career. They're fighting to pay their rent and to take care of their families. As you said, the majority of our members don't make enough money to qualify for health insurance in a given year under our own plan, which is $26,500 approximately. So we're not talking about a fight for people who just make tons of money. We're talking about a fight for working people. And when the companies say things like they've offered the highest increase in minimums that they've ever offered, well, let me just tell you, their offer is 5% in the first year. So if that strikes you as an extraordinary increase in minimums, our members will be behind the times. If we were to accept the offer that the studios have on the table right now, our members will make less in 2023 in real dollars than they made in 2020, and they'll still make less in 2026 in real dollars than they made in 2020. So our members are going backwards under this historic offer that the studios have put forward, and that's not okay.
And then talk to me about the working conditions, because I think to those of us who don't do the work, that seems the most opaque.
Sure. I mean, just as one example, something that's changed since the pandemic is the companies have shifted their casting practices to be entirely what we call self-tapes. And what that means is, if anyone thinks that the way auditions happen is you go to a casting director's office and you do your audition, that's not what happens anymore. The companies have pushed all of that burden off on our members to make their own tapes to submit for casting. And while that might not at first seem like a big deal, remember, they're asking them to do things like have lighting and have someone else there to read with them and have someone to move the camera around. It's basically putting them in the position of putting the whole production together when their job is to be an actor. So there's that. There's all kinds of safety considerations. Aside from that, there are a number of issues like that. But those issues are all part of a fundamental theme in this negotiation, which is basic respect. And the fact is there is a lack of basic respect in the way the studios deal with our members. And it's true on an economics level, it's true on a working conditions level, and it's true on the level of sharing, in the case of streaming residuals, sharing the success of the platform that had been created on the faces and voices of our members. Those streaming platforms wouldn't exist if the actors weren't part of them.
Well, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I've only got about a minute left, and I want to make sure that we get to the AI piece of. I want to make sure we get to the AI piece of this, because it is the freakiest of all of these pieces, right? It is a true existential threat to the art form.
It really is. And I just have to say, there's a lot of misinformation out there, but the studios have not offered us something that guarantees that actors will have control over the use of their image, their likeness, their voice going forward. And especially for background actors, that's even more so the case. The fact is, from the very beginning, we've said we're not here to block AI. What we are here to do is put guardrails in that make sure that our members won't be abused by this process and that they'll still have careers 3 years from now. And that means they've got to have informed consent. So whenever their image, likeness, voice is going to be used to create a digital double of them, they need to have given informed consent for that, and they need to be fairly paid for it. That's all we're asking for. And anyone who doubts that this is a real problem, I encourage them, ironically, to go check out the show Black Mirror on one of the studio's platforms, the Netflix platform. It's their first episode of the season was all about someone being abused by the use of their image and likeness through AI without consent. This is a real problem.